This week we're making Southern-style buttermilk biscuits. For this recipe, you will need 2 cups of flour, 4 teaspoons of baking powder, 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda, 3/4 teaspoon of salt, 2 tablespoons of cold butter diced, 2 tablespoons of shortening, and 1 cup of buttermilk chilled. For our supplies, you'll need 1 baking sheet, a whisk, and a 2-inch to 3-inch cutter. For my cutter, I'm going to use the top of a drinking glass that's about the length of my pointer finger. To begin, we're going to mix all of our dry ingredients into our flour bowl. Whisk together the dry ingredients to make sure they're evenly combined. Using our fingers, we're going to rub the butter into the flour. It is important that the butter cubes are cold. Gently press the butter and the shortening into the flour until the flour mixture becomes dry and crumbly. The purpose of this is to coat the flour in the shortening and butter to create flakes in the biscuits. Once there are no large chunks of butter or shortening, you can add your buttermilk. It is important that the buttermilk is cold so that it helps solidify the fats that are in your recipe. Using your hand, you're going to slowly mix the buttermilk into your dry ingredients. Once the dough has come mostly together, you're going to flip it onto your countertop. Instead of kneading this dough, we are going to fold it in half, turning 90 degrees after each fold. Repeat the folding process 6 to 10 times. After your final fold, use the palm of your hand to flatten out your dough. You want the thickness of the dough to be approximately 3/4 of an inch to 1 inch. I use the top of my pinky to get an approximate measurement. When you're ready to cut your biscuits, swirl your cutter into a little bit of flour and press straight down into the dough. Lift the cutter straight up and gently move your biscuit onto your baking sheet. As you cut the rest of the biscuits, keep the cuts tight together to avoid wasting any dough. You can fold up the excess dough to create more biscuits, but the more you fold it up, the tougher the biscuits may be. Once all your biscuits are cut, place them in the oven for 10 to 15 minutes or until golden brown. Don't worry if your biscuits all look a little bit different. That's one of the appeals of having them handmade and homemade. One way to check if your biscuits are done is to tap the bottom and listen for a hollow sound. The next way is to peel back the layers on the edges. If there's lots of layers and that breaks at different points, then you've done your butter correctly at the beginning. For plating, you can simply place 2 biscuits on the plate, one on its side so that the picture captures multiple angles. Or you can cut it in half and top it as you like. For my biscuit, I went with the classic pat of butter and drizzle of honey. Although biscuits are best fresh from the oven, they can be reheated in the microwave. Wrap each biscuit in a damp paper towel and heat for about 10 seconds at a time.